Imagine a world before cars, trains, or planes, a time when the only way to traverse great distances was by foot, horseback, or by sailing across treacherous seas. The world was vast and mysterious, with many regions unexplored and unknown to the Western world. Could you imagine traveling for years, crossing deserts and mountains to reach distant lands? The journey would be fraught with dangers, from harsh weather conditions to the threat of bandits, yet the promise of discovering new cultures, goods, and knowledge drove many to embark on such perilous adventures. That's exactly what Marco Polo did. His travels took him through some of the most challenging terrains known to man, and his accounts would later inspire countless explorers and adventurers. Born in 1254 in Venice, Italy, Marco Polo was a merchant traveler who became famous for his epic journey to Asia. Venice, a bustling hub of commerce and culture, was the perfect starting point for a young man with dreams of adventure. At the age of 17, Marco embarked on an extraordinary adventure with his father Niccolo and uncle Maffeo, who were already experienced merchants. They had previously traveled to the east and were eager to return, this time with Marco by their side. The Polo's journey was driven by a thirst for exploration and the desire to establish trade connections with the east. They carried with them not only goods to trade, but also a wealth of knowledge and curiosity about the world beyond Europe. Little did they know that their journey would become one of the most remarkable tales in history. Their travels would take them to the court of Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler of China, where they would spend many years and gain insights into a world few Europeans had ever seen. Marco Polo's detailed accounts of his travels would later be compiled into a book, The Travels of Marco Polo, which would captivate the imaginations of people for centuries to come. Marco Polo's travels are documented in the book, which describes the Polo's adventures in vivid detail. The book recounts their encounters with diverse cultures, exotic animals, and powerful rulers, including the legendary Kublai Khan, the Mongol Emperor of China. However, over the centuries, some historians have questioned the accuracy of Marco Polo's accounts. They argue that he exaggerated his experiences or even fabricated some of his stories. The debate continues to this day, adding an air of mystery and intrigue to Marco Polo's legacy. The Polo's journey began in 1271, traveling eastward from Venice. They sailed across the Mediterranean Sea, stopping at various ports and trading posts along the way. They traversed treacherous deserts, navigated bustling cities, and crossed towering mountain ranges, following the ancient trade routes known as the Silk Road. This network of routes connected the East and West for centuries, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. The Polo's journey along the Silk Road exposed them to a kaleidoscope of cultures and landscapes. One of the first major stops on the Polo's journey was Persia, a land renowned for its opulence and ancient history. They marveled at the architectural wonders of cities like Shiraz and Isfahan, with their intricate mosques, palaces, and gardens. Persian craftsmanship, particularly in carpets and textiles, left a lasting impression on the Venetian travelers. The Polos spent considerable time in Persia, immersing themselves in the local culture and learning about the region's politics and trade. The Pamir Mountains. A perilous passage, leaving the relative comforts of Persia behind, the Polos ventured into the formidable Pamir Mountains. This towering mountain range, known as the Roof of the World, presented the travelers with their most daunting challenge yet. The high altitude, treacherous terrain, and unpredictable weather made the journey extremely perilous. The Polos relied on their resilience and the guidance of local guides to navigate the treacherous passes and survive the harsh conditions. Their experience in the Pamirs highlighted the dangers and hardships faced by travelers in those times. Entering the realm of Kublai Khan. After enduring the challenges of the Pamirs, the Polos finally reached their destination, the Yuan dynasty, ruled by the legendary Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, had established a vast empire that stretched across much of Asia. The Polos arrived at Kublai Khan's court in 1275, having spent almost 4 years on their arduous journey. Kublai Khan, known for his curiosity and open-mindedness, welcomed the Venetian travelers warmly. Impressed by their knowledge and skills, Kublai Khan offered them positions in his court. The splendors of Xanadu and the Yuan dynasty. The Yuan dynasty, established by Kublai Khan, was a period of immense cultural and economic growth in China. It was a time when the East met the West, and the world was forever changed by the exchange of ideas, goods, and traditions. Marco Polo spent nearly 2 decades serving Kublai Khan, traveling extensively throughout the Yuan dynasty. His journeys took him to the farthest reaches of the empire, where he encountered diverse cultures and witnessed the grandeur of the Mongol rule firsthand. He marveled at the sophistication and grandeur of Chinese cities like Hangzhou and Beijing, then known as Khanbalik. These cities were bustling centers of commerce, culture, and innovation, showcasing the architectural and artistic achievements of the time. Marco Polo was particularly impressed by the city of Xanadu, Kublai Khan's summer capital. Nestled in the heart of the Mongolian steppes, Xanadu was a retreat for the emperor, a place where he could escape the rigors of court life and immerse himself in the natural beauty of the landscape. Xanadu was a city of legendary beauty, described by Marco Polo as a place of unimaginable luxury and splendor. The city was adorned with majestic palaces, lush gardens, and intricate waterways, creating a paradise on earth that captivated all who visited. He wrote of its vast hunting grounds, elaborate palaces, and advanced infrastructure, including a sophisticated postal system and the use of paper money. The hunting grounds were expansive, providing a space for the emperor and his court to engage in the traditional Mongol pastime of hunting. The palaces were a testament to the architectural prowess of the time, with their elaborate designs and luxurious interiors. The postal system was a marvel of efficiency, allowing for swift communication across the vast empire. The use of paper money was a revolutionary concept, facilitating trade and commerce on an unprecedented scale. Marco Polo's accounts of Xanadu and the Yuan dynasty provide a glimpse into a world of opulence, innovation, and cultural exchange that continues to fascinate historians and travelers alike. Marco Polo's years of service in China. During his time in China, Marco Polo held various administrative positions for Kublai Khan. He traveled to remote provinces, observing local customs and collecting taxes. His travels took him to present-day Vietnam, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka, where he encountered diverse cultures and exotic wildlife. Marco Polo's writings provide valuable insights into the Yuan dynasty's society, culture, and governance. His accounts of the Chinese people's ingenuity and the empire's advancements in technology, such as gunpowder and printing, amazed Europeans upon his return. Return to Venice. Tales of the Orient. In 1292, after nearly 2 decades in the East, the Polos decided to return to Venice. They had ventured far and wide, exploring the vast and diverse lands of the Orient, encountering cultures and traditions that were completely foreign to them. Their journey had been filled with both wonder and peril as they navigated through unknown territories and faced numerous challenges. Kublai Khan, though reluctant to see them go, granted them permission to leave, entrusting them with a message for the Pope. The great Khan had grown fond of the Polos, especially Marco, who had served as an emissary and advisor. The message they carried was of great importance, a testament to the diplomatic ties and mutual respect between the East and the West. The Polos embarked on their return journey, sailing from China to Persia and then making their way back to Venice. Their voyage was long and arduous. Fraught with dangers from treacherous seas to hostile territories, they traveled by ship, camel, and foot, retracing their steps along the Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected the East to the West. They arrived in Venice in 1295 after an absence of 24 years. The city had changed much in their absence, and they found themselves strangers in their own homeland. Their return was met with a mix of curiosity and skepticism, as the tales they brought back seemed too extraordinary to be true. Upon their return, they struggled to convince people of their experiences, their stories seeming so fantastical. They spoke of grand palaces, exotic spices, and immense wealth, of lands where the customs and people were unlike anything the Venetians had ever known. Despite the initial disbelief, their accounts would eventually become legendary, inspiring future generations of explorers and adventurers. Marco Polo's legacy inspiring generations. Marco Polo's travels may be shrouded in some mystery, but his impact is undeniable. His book became a bestseller, fueling European curiosity about the East. Though some details in his book are disputed, it provided Europeans with their first comprehensive look at the geography, cultures, and riches of East Asia. Marco Polo's adventures have inspired generations of explorers, writers, and dreamers. His name remains synonymous with adventure, curiosity, and the spirit of exploration, reminding us that the world is a vast and wondrous place waiting to be discovered.